It's Lone Gunman Storyline number 6, as the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda look to hide out in a small backwater planet, only to be drawn into a conflict between farmers and some armored raiders. Luckily, backup's not too far to find, in the guise of ex-rebel shock trooper Cara Dune. It's the Mandalorian Chapter 4, Sanctuary. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of The Mandalorian. So yes, of course, spoilers coming your way. Also do want to tell you about our quick jump index system. In the description below, have this entire review titleized and time-stamped. You can jump to the end first, you can watch the beginning last, you can watch this review in any order you'd like. Alright, so, as I kind of joked in the opening bit here, this week's episode of Mandalorian, it's actually a very standard lone gunman storyline trope. Has happened for years and years and years and years. You could probably go all the way back to old episodes of Paladin. You could find it on Wagon Train. Definitely Kung Fu, A-Team. God, I think this is actually the standard A-Team storyline. I think they had this basic storyline appeared multiple episodes over multiple seasons. And it always kind of works the same. You have our hero wandering into town or wandering onto a farm looking for refuge, a place to stay, meets some nice town folk, and then they find out, oh, there's a group of raiders, thieves, bandits that are stealing their stuff, raiding the town, and our hero decides that it's his job to stay and fight them out. You also usually have some attractive parent, widow, or widower, depending on if you have a male or female protagonist, living in town that offers a bit of temptation to our hero to stay, and may even engage in that idea until, of course, circumstances change, the cops show up, or Colonel Lynch arrives to chase off Hannibal and the rest of the team. So, like I said, it's a very standard story for this type of setup. But in no way does that lessen the quality of the job that is done. And I want to remind this, anytime I make critiques of this series, for the most part, I am nitpicking. These are small little things. Every episode has been awesome. I don't expect that to change at all. So any critiques I make, any bits of negativity, very, very nitpicky. I just want to be straight with that from the beginning. Alright, so specifically, our Mandalorian and Baby Yoda are landing on planet Sorgan. They are looking to hide out for a couple of months. I was actually kind of impressed by that line. We're going to lay low for a couple of months. And that does seem to be maybe the minimal amount of time to actually hide from pursuing bounty hunters. But of course, things don't work out quite so well. Runs into Cara Dune right there, an ex-rebel shock trooper, a very specialized fighter, very tough. They show very quickly how she is almost on par with the Mandalorian, certainly on his level of fighter. And I guess her job was, well, shock trooper. She was a specialized fighter. After Endor, they were having her clean up Imperials, doing it quietly, dropping them out in the distance, keeping things out. So yeah, very stealthy, very capable fighter, a great new character interaction. And of course, he gets pulled into by a couple of farmers that are looking for defense against raiders. You're a Mandalorian, aren't you? I love the fact that it's not enough. We got some money together. It's not enough. We haven't even told you what the job. It doesn't matter. Which is true. Money-wise, not what they're looking for, but a place that's out in the middle of nowhere, already on a planet that has no spaceport and no big industry or anything like that. Now you're heading out to the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's a perfect type of hiding place. So, bringing in Cara with, for the price of lunch money, I think that it was, we go off to protect the town. And again, from there, kind of works out very standard. There's a couple of really nice things they do with this. One, they make the ATST dangerous, which I liked. I mean, we're always used to the big four-legged walkers. The ATST, the little chicken walkers, as they're called. Yeah, against Ewoks in the Battle of Endor, sure, they're kind of impressive against tiny teddy bears, but I don't think they've ever really been considered a large threat. And to me here, it really does. They really kind of sink that in. The shot with the red eyes coming up after the Mandalorian and Cara raid the Raiders camp. And we just see those red eyes stand up in the sound. I mean, that's a chilling moment, and I like the fact that they keep that dangerous. I like the fact that they keep them smart. Doesn't wander right into the trap, but they have to do some work in order to pull and tempt this thing in. So it's always nice when they heighten the danger levels. I mean, even from Cara when she was telling the rest of the town, the ATSTs, she's seen those wipe out an entire company of fighters. So versus 2 fighters and some farmers. Yeah, it's a very dangerous, very impressive weapon there, and it's nice to keep that. We're so used to these larger scale battles where these smaller things may not play out so importantly. It's great to see how in these small circumstances, this is a dangerous and deadly and terrifying weapon. And we get some great training sequences. I mean, talk about callbacks. Right out of Army of Darkness, we have a whole pole training sequence, and Cara is teaching the farmers how to use the sticks and staffs, and they're doing the ha, ha, ha. I mean, that is right out of Army of Darkness. Which was just a whole lot of fun. So they do some great callbacks. They get some nice switches. I love the fact that the mom, the widow, that is connected with the Mandalorian, is a hell of a shot. I want to know what her background is. Have you fired a gun? She's like, eh. When they do the target practice, she's like, pew, 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 pew. Just nailing it. Just center ring every time. It's a nice, fun sort of change up. I love the surprise on everyone's face on the Mandalorians and Cara. It's kind of like, I was not expecting that. So yeah, like I said, it's a lot of fun. Definitely we have Baby Yoda pulling all of the cute moves out. We get the Mandalorian showing he's got more of a heart. It's not just about money. It's not just about self. We get a little bit more lore on Mandalorians. And of course, at the end, everybody's got to move on together. Well, Mandalorian Baby Yoda is not leaving that behind. So a really well done episode. They get some nice arcs. They get some great character introductions. Like I say, I like the fact that they can make things that we may not see offhand as dangerous to be dangerous and smart. It's always good to have smart villains. All right, so we got a little bit more Mandalorian lore, a little background on our hero character here. One, definitely not Mandalorian. Says very straight out that he was found by the Mandalorians, pulled into their culture. So no, he is not himself Mandalorian. He's kind of a foundling. He's adapted into the Mandalorian culture. Does take off his helmet to eat. I was wondering about that. And how he was going to eat and what the whole deal was. And a little window opening up where he can put a straw or something. It would be so less impressive. But he can only take it off when he is alone. He has worn that helmet since he was a kid and is always on, can take it off alone, but not around anyone. If he takes it off around anyone, then he can't put it back on. So that's sort of the code of the Mandalorian. It is the way. So that's kind of a good little background to get. Though there was the one shot when he does take it off to eat. He's like right by the window, just watching all the kids play, which again, cute. But all I'm thinking is, if one of them turns his head and looks in, I mean, he's not even that far back from the window. He's like right there. So that was kind of a cool, again, the more insights that we're getting along with the culture and how long he's been there and what's going on, that's sort of nice to see. I always love them expanding that. Great character, like I said, mentioned before, with Cara Dune, ex-rebel shock trooper. So yeah, specialized combatant, certainly up to par with the Mandalorian, as we see in that great fight scene, which I will touch back on in just a moment. Again, always really good to show that we have characters that are on par with the hero, a capable fighter. Let's see, what was the mentioning is a post-Endor was being used to wipe out, take care of, wrap up, that's the term I'm looking for, wrap up some Imperials, doing distance drop, ship drops, quietly going in. So again, very capable, perfect actually for the raid on the Raiders that they have to do. So really excited, even though she's gone by the end of the episode, I'm really sure that we're going to see him back. In fact, I'm getting the feeling, and again, this is just a thought, that a Mandalorian might be slowly developing a team of his own. I mean, our not rancher back there in episodes 1 and 2, I'm not sure how much traveling he's interested in doing. Definitely Cara could back up, because the point is, at some point, Baby Yoda's going to be taken. And he's going to have to go back and get him back, save his life. That's when we get sort of bigger branch into the whole lore and the background of what the story's going on. So at some point, the Mandalorian's going to need a team. And I think overall with these little bits, he's slowly putting one together. They are going to be awesome. And of course, turning on the cute full power is our Baby Yoda. I'm very sure that's Baby Yoda's job. We need cute in a scene. Great, bring in Baby Yoda. He magnifies every scene. I mean, even from the very beginning when they're in the cockpit, he's pushing the buttons. The Mandalorian's like, don't touch that. Trying to fix. And then he's like looking, oh, okay, I won't. Button push. He's just so cute. I mean, even the Mandalorian's telling him, stay right here. I'll be right back. Don't touch anything. We know he's not going to stay. Sure enough, the door opens up, and right next to the Mandalorian's little Baby Yoda. Ready to go. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure he picked him up and carried him because he's got tiny little legs. He is not going to keep up with the tall Mandalorian walking through the forest and all that. But yeah, just every bit super, super cute. Just such a fun character. And of course, great drawing in all the other kids. Can I feed him? Can I play with him? He's not a pet. He's a person. He's just, I don't know what species type of person. Anyway, but yeah, God, just every moment that Baby Yoda's in is awesome. I gotta get me one of those, and I'm putting them in my co-pilot seat. As for our fight scenes, combat sequences, all done very well. I love the raid on the Raiders camp. Again, quiet. We're showing the stealth capabilities from Mandalorian and of Cara. She's done a lot of quiet, Imperial attacks, so perfect for her. Great, brutal fight scene. I love seeing the two of them work together. Really shows that natural sort of pairing. And very brutal. There's this one shot where Mandalorian gets kicked back, and he kicks out the guy's front leg, the shin. I mean, below knee, just takes the shin out and drops him. I mean, again, just brutal, quick. And of course, time pressed because we got a bomb counting down. So it's nice. All they know is they just have to hold off for a minute and then out the back, and then boom. Then of course we get the ATST showing up, and like I mentioned before, just beautifully done. The red eyes really makes it scary. And then just sort of rising up as we get the mechanical sounds going and starts forward. It's just, it's perfect. And how it tears down all of the trees. Yeah, I mean, we get that sound in the very beginning to show that, indicate there was something more than just the Raiders. Now seeing it in action, very cool, very effective. And then just a whole great kind of final sight. I like the fact, again, that the Imperials, that the pilot for the ATST is smart, doesn't just walk into the trap, just gets out in the field. It's got the distance, it's got the armor, it can shoot from a good distance, so it doesn't need to get close. Using the spotlight was great, and seeing all the battlements, probably like maybe I don't want to walk into that. And then Cara showing her badass self, taking the Mandalorian's pulse rifle, running up, getting in the water, getting close, taking those shots, taking out the eye in order to get it to finally come in and attack. I mean, yeah, it's just beautifully done, very engaging. And normally, yeah, the big scene that's the big fight one, that's the most impressive one, that's typically that's been our scene of the week several times. But not this week. There's a smaller fight that establishes character so well and ends in humor perfectly, which is, of course, our scene of the week for this week, and that is the Cara Mandalorian fight. They set it up very nicely. She is suspicious. She is some person that's there. You know, the Mandalorian's like, you know, trying to pay money in order to get some info. What's going on? How long has she been in here? Great. And then as she disappears, he sneaks out. Sneak attack! Just a great fight. And the reason that it's done really well is it's showing how evenly matched they are. I mean, and that's really the purpose of this fight. To show how they're both badass, they're both effective fighters, and they're nearly on par with each other. Which is why you get the John Woo ending there, where they're both sticking guns in each other's faces. Again, classic frickin' John Woo right there. Maybe a little different angle on it, but it's the same type of scene. And it's showing we have evenly matched. I can take you out, but you can take me out. We are equal. And again, it's sort of perfect because it's important to set that going forward, why the Mandalorian would want to bring in Cara, why he would feel comfortable doing this as having a partner, and somebody who was definitely not Imperial, but a rebel, because he's not going to take chances working with any Imperials again. So it's a beautifully done fight. It's brutal, it's quick, and it does its job in showing how the characters are evenly matched. And then ends with a ends with such a great just a tension cutter while they roll over and you got two guns fight, and off camera you just hear that. They both turn their heads to see Baby Yoda just standing there with the cup. Just want some soup? Again, it's a lighthearted, perfect way to end it. But again, it does its job. It removes any danger, fear, or concerns that we have, and it shows that these are evenly matched characters. I just hope Mandalorian got his coin back, because he paid that lady to watch Baby Yoda, and she didn't do any job at that. He's wandering out with the soup, watching people beat the crap out of each other. That's not looking out for the kid. I'm just saying. So yeah, by episode's end, our farmers are victorious, the raiders have been driven off, and peace has returned. Now, blue shrimp farming can continue. That's what they look like, blue shrimp. I wonder if they're tasty or not. Anyway, so we do have a moment of concern for us as audience that perhaps we may have a separation between Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. I mean, yes, good for a baby to have the kids around, be able to raise in a safe environment. They're on a backwater planet out in the middle of nowhere, probably the safest place that Baby Yoda could be. Give a chance for the Mandalorian to move on, less of a target. And that's a thought for about 2 seconds until our bounty hunter shows up with Baby Yoda in his sights, thankfully quickly dispatched by Ms. Cara Dune. And this kind of gives us a couple of bits of information here. One, that the bringing back alive part seems to be off the table, or at least not a concern. Maybe the idea is if you kill Baby Yoda, then the Mandalorian won't try to protect it, and then you can just drag its corpse back for whatever means, whatever need that our client had originally for him. So, I mean, that's one kind of little bit of shift there. The other one are the fobs. I mean, that's more of a question, I guess, more than a thought there, is how do those work? Are those tied into, like, genes? Is there I mean, there can't be, like, a tracker that was put in. I mean, I guess that's possible, but you definitely would have had to found your mark first to put the tracker in to then get the fob to track it back. So, I'm kind of curious how these little tracking fobs work. If there is something implanted in Baby Yoda, if it's some sort of genetic tracer thing. I mean, what, you can trace planet to planet? I mean, that's kind of crazy. Though, as our Mandalorian had mentioned, that last scene, I think, is a couple of weeks after the end of the battle with the Raiders, and there was the concern that any battle like this, word is going to spread, which is why if he leaves Baby Yoda and he takes off, he can, I think the Mandalorian can take the attention with him. However, with the Fobs showing up with Baby Yoda, there's no chance that he can leave it alone. Baby Yoda got to stay with Mandalorian because the bounty hunters are going to be heading that way. So I'm just kind of curious how these Fobs specifically work, if there's any chance to undo them, or if it's just once they're on, they're on. Which opens up a whole lot of other doors if you can just use some sort of genetic tracker against anyone to find them. I mean, that would change a lot of the whole Rebellion Empire battles from years before and even First Order going forward. So, would like to know how the Fobs work. But at the very least, it does keep our Yoda and Mandalorian together for their adventures because it's more fun with the two of them together. Alright, well, I think that pretty much covers everything. Not a whole lot to really go into. It's a very straightforward episode. We just get, again, a little expansion of lore, some great character introductions, more cute Baby Yoda stuff. That's really what we keep coming back to this show for, isn't it? I think so. It's a big part of it, at least. Anyway, but I think that will go ahead and wrap us up for now. Thank you, as always, for joining me with these reviews. And if you enjoyed them, please go ahead and hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, and comments, throw those down in the section below. What do you guys think about this episode? Do you like where things are going? Do you like the pacing and such? Also, do you think the Mandalorian is building up a team in order to go a future rescue Baby Yoda again? Do you think the episode's going to get longer? Are we going to stay around a half hour and then maybe blow up at the end? I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Let me know your thoughts. Throw those down in the section below. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Darren Jakes. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Quick and easy. It's a one-button press. We got the rest of Mandalorian. We're in the final season of Mr. Robot. So much fun stuff. You won't miss it if you're a subscriber. Do that by clicking this button right here. And we'll throw up a couple of our latest reviews right here for you to check out. So, that's going to be it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.